Welcome to Biz Wire. I'm Joseph Nordstrom in Beijing. China has announced it will bankroll construction of a brand new city of up to 155,000 people in Belarus, giving Chinese manufacturers a backdoor into European markets. Bloomberg reported on Monday that the Belarusian Chinese industrial park received regulatory approval from the Belarusian authorities earlier this month to develop an area 40% larger than Manhattan around Minsk International Airport. The plans were actually unveiled by officials in 2011 as Belarus was in the throes of a vicious balance of payment crisis. The new city is expected to cost upwards of $30 billion and take 3 decades to complete. The 30-square-mile site is in forested land about 15 miles outside the Belarusian capital of Minsk. It is also strategically located on the M1 highway linking Moscow and Berlin. European Union member states Poland and Lithuania are less than 180 miles away, which is key to the deal as the main markets for the goods produced at the industrial hub are expected to be Western European countries as well as those of the former Soviet Union. Analysts say China has long sought to gain a local jumping-off point for its export companies that sell to Europe and may build other cities for final assembly of its manufactured goods as a way around high European tariffs. The development will also offer Chinese exports a tax-free entry into Russia and Kazakhstan, which share a customs union. Alexander Lukashenko, the iron-fisted president who's led Belarus for 2 decades, is turning to China to help revive a $60 billion economy that's needed $6.5 billion worth of bailouts from the IMF and Russia since 2009. Lukashenko has been seeking to cultivate allies outside the former Soviet Union and reduce his reliance on Russia since the U.S. and EU intensified sanctions on him and other Belarus officials for jailing political opponents after the 2010 election that gave him a 4th term. Lukashenko, who has been frequently branded the last dictator of Europe by U.S. and European officials, and there are concerns that the country's poor relationship with the West could have a negative impact on the city's economic potential. Lukashenko's isolation deepened after the deaths of 2 of his few supporters among world leaders, Libya's Muammar Gaddafi in 2011 and in March of Venezuela's Hugo Chavez, for whom Belarus declared 3 days of national mourning. According to Bloomberg, high-tech companies working in fields like biomedicine and electronic engineering will be the main users of the new park, and tax breaks will be available for companies from any country pledging an investment of over $5 million. BON's China Beat previously reported that the project will be run by the Industrial Park Development Company, a body 40% controlled by the Belarusian government and 60% by a subsidiary of the state-owned China National Machine Industry Corporation. Bloomberg says the project is also slated to benefit from cheap loans from Chinese banks in return for 50% of the money invested being spent on Chinese labor, technology, and goods. The Export-Import Bank of China and the China Development Bank, China's so-called super bank, are among Chinese lenders that have already agreed to fund the project. The city will be powered by a $10 billion nuclear plant built by Russia, the first such plant in Belarus. China has said before that it would like to establish economic and technology zones in Central and Eastern Europe, meaning that the city being built in Belarus could be one of the first of a number of cities built by the Chinese. You're watching Biz Wire on the Blue Ocean Network. Stay tuned and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more in economic insight.